Hello guys. Let me just make sure that everything is working. Welcome to the 50K live stream, even though I'm actually not at 50K yet. So I'm actually doing this from my phone, so I can't really see my phone, but I have my iPad, so I'm gonna double check it to make sure it's working. Streaming again after a year, yeah. I'm not exactly a streamer, so I'm really bad at this. Hi, me too, the one. I need to turn this volume down. Yeah, it is. Basically, I think I'll hit 50K in like tomorrow. So I had like all the options set, for like today and tomorrow. I was actually hoping that you guys would vote for today because I've worked tonight and I'll be really tired tomorrow because I have to wake up again early tomorrow. So I really need to stand for this so I'm not looking down all the time. Like I said, not a streamer. Do not know the ways of the streaming platforms. Oh, hi, Josh. Oh, Gen Ace is Josh, right? Golly. Sun Kai said, order Chinese for the second time in my life and passed the first HSK. Congratulations. 恭喜你啊. Is everyone here? Yeah. Yeah, I was just about to ask, who's actually learning Chinese? 你们都在学习中文吗? Are you all learning Chinese? Because I was thinking like maybe we could do some listening practice. I could like speak in Chinese. 你们要不要听我讲中文啊? Do you want to hear me speak in Chinese? 我可以说一句中文，然后说一句英文。Like speak a word or say a sentence in Chinese and then say a sentence in English. 今天很高兴。很好，你今天很高兴，很好，今天我也很高兴。I'm also very happy today. I had a really busy week this week. 我这个礼拜非常忙。Because new video. Oh, these videos I'm making, they're taking longer and longer to make. Like, I don't know if I'm going down like a rabbit hole or something. Remember when I first like had a video and I was like, this video took 80 hours to make, and then it was like 100, and now it's like over 100 hours. What? Sure, I don't know, bro. Every time a new video comes out, I get more inspired to learn Chinese. That's good to hear. Good to hear. Thank you for the comment. And if it looks like I'm looking right, it's because I have my stand here. I'm trying to read the comments. So this is really a chance for you guys to ask whatever you want. 这是给你们问你们想问的问题的机会。Because I've had people comment, they're like, oh, it'd be cool to like chat with you or whatever. So here is the chat. You can ask questions about Chinese. You can ask questions about me personally, my video process or something. Sup, Jimmy? By the way, Christina Jerome is my sister. Everyone say hi to her in the chat. That's not her real name. I don't know why she does that. Duolingo. Oh yeah, speaking of Duolingo, some people have also been asking me to do the app review videos I used to do. I really don't want to do those anymore because I don't really feel like they bring any value. Yeah, I remember those too. I cringe when I think about them. Although, although, I was thinking, what if I did like live streams of like me trying out apps? Because then I wouldn't have to put so much effort into it, and I would have time to do the things I want to do. That's a possibility. It's not that they were bad. No, they weren't great. I didn't really like them. It's funny how the world works. Like the things you put effort into, I feel like sometimes you don't get as much credit for, and then the things that you don't put effort into, you almost like do get credit for. It I don't know if that makes sense. Thank you, Marie, for the kind comment. I definitely cringe watching my own videos. Simple Chinese. Never heard that one before. And yeah, I agree. Hello Chinese was my favorite back then. Who knows what they're doing now? I just heard that Super Chinese is trying to incorporate Chat GPT or GPT-4 into their app now, which I think that's the direction everything's gonna go in the future. We're gonna have AI tutors basically, and they're gonna be able to discuss language and break it down. Maybe even better than humans can because they can take a large amounts of data and comb through those. I learned Chinese with I Can Mandarin. My favorite is Chinese Way on YouTube. I have not seen his videos. Chinese Way? But I guess I could just look at it right now. Let me pull up YouTube. Another tab. Have there been any new Chinese learning like channels coming up recently? I haven't really kept up with the community. Like I know all the channels that kind of started the same time I started, but I haven't seen if any new channels have popped up. What kind of music do you like listening to? Sappy Chinese ballads. I don't really like rap. Okay, there's like only one song I can think of where I enjoy the rap. So Deng Ziqi Jam has a song called 差不多的姑娘. It's Miss Similar, I think is the English title. Miss Similar. I'll type it in the chat. It has kind of a rap. It's really nice. The song itself is it's a really nice message, especially for girls, because it kind of talks about the societal pressures on girls these days and how they need to conform. They want to like look good and everything. And it's like the idea is talking about how everyone's just trying to get to this 差不多的 this 程度. 差不多 is like it's not really similar. It's like oh, this is one of those hard to translate words. There's two definitions. So if you're saying like I did something and the quality was 差不多, it means like it was just barely on par. And then the other definition is it's kind of close to something. So if you're telling me something, I'm like, oh, so that's like a giraffe? Is that what you're talking about? And then you can say like, not really, 差不多. So like you were close to it. I was wondering what you think the best way to retain and remember Chinese is. Recently I've been watching, I don't know what that is. Best way to retain and remember Chinese. I'm probably not the best person to ask because I think that like how my brain works and how an average Chinese learner's brain work might not be completely the same. But I've mentioned before that I think you need to contact a new word you're learning in different contexts. So if you're learning 差不多, like this new word I just taught you guys, it's if you hear it right now in this context, this is like creating one little memory cell in your brain or however you want to think about it. You can either strengthen that cell by repeatedly listening to it in this context, or you can create like another sell like another memory bank by seeing it in a different context. And I think your memory of it is stronger when you have a lot of different contexts to pull from, as opposed to strengthening just one memory. Oh, I missed some of these comments. 龙蛋子, I don't know what 龙蛋子 is. Speech recognition is wild. Even I can hear I'm talking gibberish. What do you mean wild? Like, is it good wild or bad wild? Little Ghost, I do not know Little Ghost. Thank you, Patrick OnStar. I love your content. It's hard to find a good app. There seems to be so many these days. Yes. You want to hear something like one of my philosophical maybe outlooks on the current climate? So we live in an information age where information is not really locked behind a paywall anymore. So like there's a lot of free information, but it's very hard to comb through that information and figure out what's good information and what's quality information. Like the value of college has gone down really because you can find so much on YouTube, but you can also find a lot of trash on YouTube. How do you know what's good and what's not? That's really difficult. And maybe that is the value of making app review videos. I don't know. Hua Chengyu. There seems to be a lot of Hua fans. Oh yeah, Barbara. I remember you're one of his big fans. He's a little eccentric for my taste. I do appreciate some of his stuff, but he's crazy. Just popping in. Take care. In God always. Thank you. Question, how are you? I'm good. Thank you. I can only memorize in context words fine for me. What do people like to read in China? What are top writers? I have no idea. That is not a question for me. I don't even live in China. And honestly, I don't even read Chinese much these days. I don't read much of anything at all, which is unfortunate. I need to get back to reading. But I do a lot of research now because my videos have required more research. This is a real difficult meeting. Chao versus Zhao, Chao Zhuo. Okay, James Cook, I see all of the characters that you're writing down. So what is difficult about, is it like distinguishing between tones for these similar characters? Zong versus Cong. Lion eating poet in the shi, but different tones. See, like remembering tones, that's another area where like I don't really have personal experience with that because that's not something I struggled with. So it's really hard for me to give good advice on that. I love the app called Immersive Chinese. Haven't heard that one. Do you have a favorite TV series? I also haven't watched TV in a long time. Like, during COVID, I got into Korean dramas during COVID, and then I also watched Chinese dramas, so I should say just like Asian dramas in general. I could talk about some of the ones I liked before. Korean dramas, let's see. If you like sappy romantic, Strong Woman Do Bong Soon was pretty good. If you like thriller, mystery, or like sci-fi, W2 Worlds is insane. When I watched that show, it was like you're on the edge of your seats every single episode. Yeah, that was intense. Oh, favorite Korean drama? It's got to be Hotel Del Luna. Hotel Del Luna, the reason why I liked it was it wasn't overly romantic. Like, they only kissed twice. But there was such a focus on... It was very deep. It was like every one of these people, I won't ruin it, but these people that they interact with, they all come in with a story about like their regrets in life, and it talks about the purpose in life without talking about the purpose in life. Because it's kind of like it's set in the afterlife, or they go to this hotel before they can go to the afterlife or something like that. You should watch it. Definitely watch it. And it's not too bad. It's not really a ghost drama. It's kind of set like that, but that's not the focus of it. Oh, I should talk about Chinese dramas. Chinese drama, this is really dumb, but My Amazing Boyfriend I really enjoyed. That was like a very, very like sappy rom-com. And it was based off of a Korean drama, I believe. Oh yeah, it was based off of My Love from the Stars. Hello Chinese is also good for me. Biggest flex for Chinese learner is being able to say the yeah 4444I can't even say it. Brand name logo simplifies into flat style. Chinese characters do simplify. Brand. Jake, I'm not sure what you're trying to say. What do you mean brand name logo? I don't know what flat style is either. 亲. 你好, Fidi? 你好, Fidi? 你好, Fidi? What's your favorite Chinese food? Oh, I have a few. 粽子 is very good. It's like sticky rice. Basically, I like anything that's like sticky rice. I like rice cakes. If you haven't had 粽子, it's not really popular yet in the US. I really hope it takes off because it's very hard to find, you know, good restaurants that serve that unless you actually go to like a Chinese market or something. Another one is 炸酱面. So 炸酱面 is noodles and it's like fermented soybean sauce. It's really good. It has a really rich unami flavor to it, and there's a Korean version of it too. In my opinion, the Chinese version is better. It tastes stronger, I think. But both are really good, and I really enjoy that. What's your favorite, like, bicep flex? I have no biceps. Rawr. There you go. I think I'm in pretty good shape overall, but I'm definitely not. Oh, wait, I didn't. Here. There's a bicep flex. I'm more lean. I'm definitely not a bulking guy. They all have the same tones, no tones. No, they don't. Yeah, I'm not sure. Little Reunion is a good Chinese drama, some very funny scenes. Portions are great. It's great recognizing some of you guys. Like, some of you guys have stuck around for a long time. Okay, this is a really random question, but classical sheet music. Why is your name called classical sheet music? That's such an interesting name. Do you make classical sheet music? I haven't heard about second round simplified 二简字. I have not studied 二简字. 大家好，我叫李查，我是法国人. Nice biceps, those good looking. Alright, I've gone through all the comments, I think. Somewhat. 我想 improve 我的英语水平。英语水平？我的英语水平很差吗 ？Richie 应该不是英文母语者吧 ？Or you're not a native English speaker. Whenever my friends speak Chinese with their mom, I always get excited because I can pick out like 3 or 2 words. Yeah, I think speaking Chinglish is the way to go. 你们可以练习 speak the Chinglish. Because it's better than like not saying it at all, and you can get some practice. After all, ABCs, 我们非常喜欢 speak Chinglish. We like to speak Chinglish, mostly because a lot of us, Chinese isn't that good. Okay, James Cook, what is difficult about these characters? Like, pick one example. Well, some of these aren't even the same pronunciation. You have like 字 and 次. So one is with a Z and one is with a C. 在 and 菜. I'm not sure. Bum, 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 bum. Jake, are those 二剪子? Or what are you talking about? I don't know what those examples are. 不所以 inconsistent character. Who? Yeah, are you talking about like the phonetic portion of that? Like the who? So I think the simple explanation for inconsistencies in characters is that they didn't originate from the same place. So, for example, maybe, how do I explain this? Like, there's like so many people that speak Chinese, and Chinese developed in so many different regions that they all have different origins and ways that they developed. So even like I talked about Liu Shu in my recent video about the ways that Chinese characters are constructed. That's really like a retrospective like categorization of Chinese characters. It's not like somebody came up with that and then they're like, oh, we're going to create characters following these examples. It was like, no, characters, they were created naturally, and then somebody went, we got to organize these characters. Oh, I'm noticing these patterns, and we're just going to categorize them into these categories. Is it really true that Chinese simplified is older than traditional? Yes and no. Only like certain characters, like very few examples. So, I'm going to talk about this a little bit more in my next video, but up until small seal script around, let's just say like 200 BC, or before then, there was like no standardization of Chinese characters. So that meant in different regions, people will have different characters to mean the same thing, and people would naturally develop them to diverge. There'd be a lot of variations of the same meaning, like a lot of variant characters of the same meaning. And then in 200 BC, that was when Qin Shi Huang conquered China, and then he had a standardization process for language, a language standardization, and it kind of like forced all of those variant characters out the window for a while, and they naturally developed again. So simplified Chinese took a lot of the old variant characters and made them the new standard. So you have a lot of variant characters. Some of them are more complex, some of them are more simple. Simplified Chinese focused a lot on simplicity and strokes, and they just kind of like picked the ones that was the simplest. Okay, now I got behind on the comments. Chinese food is the best I've had. What the hell? Chinese food is pretty good. As far as like different, I just saw this TikTok, like the countries with the worst food, and number one was England, which I agree with. I was gonna say the best food though, I also do like Italian food. Despite how simple it is, I think it's just like a guilty pleasure. I don't know. That'd make a good video. Wait, what would make a good video? I think simplification has been a thing since forever, not that simplified in its current incarnation is older. Yes, that's a good point too. I've read some articles about people talking about the trajectory of Chinese and how it developed, and one of the consistent themes is that Chinese tends to get simpler. Again, I'm like previewing my next video here, but there's like certain parts of history when the form of Chinese that was developed because the previous form was too difficult to write or too difficult to read. So they streamlined it. And the thing is, a lot of the really old characters, they were limited by the technology and the state of writing at the time. So for example, if you have to carve characters onto a clay pot, then there's only so much you can do as far as how the strokes look, for example. So that's what I mean by it's limited by the technology and the state of writing. So uses hu and jin, but E, but not available for E. I don't want to. I don't want to spit up bad information, so I'm not gonna answer that because I don't know. What's your favorite character? Oh gosh, people have asked me this before. I can't remember what I said. I let me get. Maybe I'll think about that later. Some of those old variations still exist in Japanese, right? I don't know about Japanese. 心不见爱无心. Yeah, I've heard that argument before. So Jake, my personal response to that is like I still think that it's fine. Like simplified Chinese is fine because from a practical standpoint, it's easier. Um, the only thing that matters is as long as we don't erase traditional characters from history, then it's fine. It doesn't really matter what you use in your daily life. So it only becomes a problem if, like, for example, if the Chinese government were like, let's get rid of traditional characters and erase them from history, we're never going to teach them or whatever, that would be a problem because I think erasing anything from history is bad. It's history is important. It tells us where we came from. It's the foundations of our culture. But as far as day-to-day life, I don't care, you know? Like, I just want to be able to communicate, that's all. Oh yeah, Mexican food is good too. I'm English, but never sure what English food actually is. Don't you guys eat toast on beans? Or no, beans on toast. Sorry. Beans on toast. I fancy my tea. I'll have my English breakfast. You've never eaten real English food. I will say I went to London once and they have an outdoor market called the Borough Market. That was heaven. I really loved that. But it wasn't like they were all English food, obviously. They had food from all over. They had the best donut I've ever had. Borough's Market. I can't remember the donut shop that sold it though. Have you studied classical Chinese? No, I haven't. That's on my list to do once I have a little bit more time. I feel like it's really intimidating. Because like if we compare it to English, Shakespeare is really intimidating and difficult. So classical Chinese, Shakespeare, kind of like the same thing, right? Ling is my favorite character. Huh. Okay. It's alright. Yeah, it's alright. What are the Chinese words for thunder? Chinese words for thunder, wind, earth, heaven, and fire? Are you asking this for like anime or something? Thunder is lei, wind is feng, earth. I think earth would usually translate in that context to tu, maybe. Tu is dirt. I'm not sure. Heaven, in that context, if you're talking about like the elements, maybe tian, which is sky. Fire is hua. How's your Korean coming along? Oh, 정말 나빠요. I don't have enough time for Korean. And yeah, there was a time. So between like March and June, some of you guys who follow my Instagram know that I got this like beater car and I fixed it up. I completely dropped Korean. In fact, I completely dropped my YouTube channel also for like a month and a half, and then it's been hard getting back on it. Uh-oh. My iPad froze. There's no Jiqihi, which is Mandarin, which is merged with GTC. Okay, I'm back. Cornish pastries, steak, and ale pie. Scones and is that English food? That was facts. Toast sandwich. Are there English people left in London? He's my favorite. Looks like the Space Invader. Oh, if you like Space Invaders, I just thought of one. Ding. I'll put it in the chat. So okay, I like this character, Ding. It's it just looks funny to me. And I think it looks more like a Space Invader than Hay does. You'll like this. Edward, check this out. Oh my gosh, I missed a lot of comments. I think my internet went out for a little bit. Favorite travel destination in China? I have not been to that many places, so I'm probably the wrong person to ask for that. There's a place I want to go. Oh, there's two places I wanted to go. First, I want to go to Shenzhen because Shenzhen is like cyberpunk city of the future, and I really want to see their tech. And then the other, it's a natural like a nature destination. Frick, what's it called? I think it's Zhangjiajie. Zhangjiajie maybe. It's like the place, the Avatar place, the one that looks like Avatar where they filmed Avatar. Maybe it looks really amazing in pictures, anyways. How much Cantonese? I don't speak other dialects. When I was young, I spoke with a like a Henan dialect accent situation, and then I eventually lost that. Partially because, well, I guess when I wanted to learn Chinese, I made an effort to learn the proper pronunciations for everything. My dad's pronunciation is very proper. My mom speaks more with our hometown dialect. But yeah, now I don't even know how to say it. I can understand it when I hear it. It's not very difficult to understand. It's not one of those strong dialects. It's a pretty weak dialect, very similar to Mandarin. But I can't really speak it. I'll sound like goofball. Brad ahead do amazing donuts in Borough Market. Is that what it's called? I don't know. Ah, good. 你的西语现在怎么样? Oh, Espanol. Oh no. I hope I'm still live streaming. Because my iPad just cut out. What happened? Okay, I think I'm back. Okay, where are we? My Espanol. I think I will try to learn a little bit more Spanish. So I learned it in high school, and back then I had no interest in languages whatsoever, so I sucked at it. I got a B in Spanish. Can't believe it. I was mostly A's, but like that was one of the few B's I got. Unbelievable. I'm gonna have to learn it again though because I want to go to Mexico. So sad if you give up on YouTube. Oh, thank you, Sant Dikai. I will try to keep doing YouTube. I definitely dialed it back down a little bit because YouTube does not pay enough and I need to make more money. So I can't be doing this 40 hours a week because it would be like slave labor and I can't do that. 部分的 dialect 牛年 simplified, traditional, both beautiful. I love traditional. Favorite thing about your region in China? Thanks for the recommendation. Favorite thing about my region in China? My region in China is pretty boring. So I come from Henan. The only like claim to fame Henan has is it's kind of like the Mesopotamia of China. I think that's where Chinese civilization was supposed to have originated from. That's all I know. Walk east. Yeah, there's another channel I watch too sometimes. Blondie in China. It's like that Australian girl that goes to China and tries different things. She's tried so many things that I've never even seen before, so it's interesting watching her do stuff. Okay, I'm caught up on comments again. I can draw anything, but I can't draw a country map because geopolitics is always involved, so I can't. Oh, I'll tell you a funny story. So I uploaded a few of my videos to Bilibili, which is like Chinese YouTube, right? Just for fun. And one of them got blocked. Like it wasn't blocked. Like they never even allowed it to upload. It was, oh gosh, I think it was the one about simplified Chinese characters. And the reason was not because I talked about simplified or traditional. It was because I had a map in there and it was labeled China over China, right? And it didn't include Taiwan. I'm like, are you serious? How did they catch that? It was like only on there for 1 second, I swear. And they're like, I forgot what they said. Something about your video has issues that don't comply with our community standards, something in Chinese. Alright, let me go back because no one's typing anything new. Did I miss anything? I don't know. Somebody type something so I can respond to it. I have thought about, I don't know what you guys think about this, slightly taking my channel in a different direction. So the first step is taking it slightly further in the direction of culture. Like I want to do some videos exploring Chinese history and culture, like maybe talking about the dynasties or talking about, you know, different aspects of Chinese culture, for example, Confucianism and how that impacts modern society. Something like that. I think that would be interesting. And then the other like topics I want to cover that I think would be really interesting is personal growth and kind of like those self-help videos. Okay, I don't want to put it like that. It sounds weird. But like, for example, there are a lot of really interesting concepts that I think would really help a lot of people improve their lives, not just, you know, with language learning, but like their happiness or maybe their career. The Pareto principle is one that I'm really passionate about. I think that's something that would really benefit a lot of people if it's understood. Like the idea that, you know, most of your work that is done in your 40-hour work week, whatever, is only done in like 20 hours, maybe less than that. And then the rest of the time is wasted. Or the fact that you can focus on like the 20% of Chinese words that make up most of daily conversation, and it would be a more efficient use of your time. Am I just not seeing new comments? Is this thing even loaded? So I would love to make a video about Pareto principle, for example. And there's another one I would want to make a video about is the Dunning-Kruger effect. Have anyone... Oh, finally get new comments. My iPad didn't load. What the heck? Oh yeah, I missed a lot. Sorry guys. My iPad didn't load, so I couldn't see any of the new comments. Dunning-Kruger effect is really interesting. So it's the idea that if you plot how much you know about a topic versus how much you think you know about a topic on a chart, right? Say this is how much you actually know and this is how much you think you know, the chart will look something like this. So at first you would actually know more, and as you know more, you think you know more, and then it really peaks and you think you know a lot, and then it starts to dip as you learn even more, because then you realize you don't actually know anything at all. And then it gets to a point where you're really depressed because you think you know nothing, even though you actually learned a lot, and then it slowly starts to go up. But the implications of the Dunning-Kruger effect is that you have a lot of arrogant people that are like basically beginners in their topic. This is why a lot of online conversations start and arguments start, because a lot of people, they think they know a lot about a topic and they argue and they form strong opinions, which I think you shouldn't. So you shouldn't form strong opinions about something that you haven't researched or you don't know a lot about. That's that point right here. And then the other implication is, for example, in language learning, you fall off that, maybe people call it the intermediate rut. That's the point where you fall off. Where you fall off, you actually are progressing, but you think you know nothing because you've just realized there's so much you don't know, and then you get depressed. If you can get past that rut, then that will really help you learn something, like learn anything. Like I had that when I learned piano. When I learned piano, I got into intermediate rut where I realized, oh gosh, I thought I was good at piano and I really suck. Okay, let me go back to comments. Livestream still going. You're still here. Can you understand Southern from America? Southern. Yeah, sure. I can understand Southern accents. I can speak like a cowboy. Yes. Best way to find Chinese dubs from American show. What? I don't know. I'm sorry. 你最喜欢的中国电影是什么? I don't watch. 我没有看过那么多中国电影. I haven't watched a lot of Chinese movies. I've watched some Chinese shows. I talked about that earlier. Yeah, the one I said was My Amazing Boyfriend was kind of like a guilty pleasure because I shouldn't like it, but I did kind of enjoy that drama more than I should. I hope traditional and simplified characters never disappear. That's the number one reason I love Chinese. Second reason is the scope of it. Third is its future. Yeah, I don't know what the future of Chinese is going to be like. We'll see. What's a good method for finding your Chinese name? Oh, I don't know. You're the wrong person to ask. 你是河南人吗? 我以为你是南方人. Somebody has mentioned that. Somebody said that I look Cantonese. I don't know. I am definitely not 南方人. I'm not southern. 河南 is like central, but it's considered more north. Sorry to hear they don't pay, but thank you for your hard work. Without telling us about Raid Shadow Legends. Yeah, let me tell you about Raid Shadow Legends. You can get 2,000 extra BP points if you use my code ABC. Communist Party, like, dang. Best way to learn tones. Best way to learn tones, I can't really give you any tips, but I think Grace Mandarin's videos about pronunciation are really good. She's really scientific. I've never seen it approach like that. Most other Chinese teachers just kind of guess and tell you about it, but she's really scientific and has actually studied all of that before. And I've talked to her about that. She's really passionate about pronunciation and helping students fix their Chinese pronunciation, so you should definitely watch her videos. Favorite bubble tea franchise? You asked the wrong person. I don't know if my sister's still here. Oh yeah, she's still here. Christine Jerome, what's your favorite bubble tea? I like bubble tea, but I don't love it. Have you ever heard 官家话? Yes, not familiar with it. 官家话 is Hakka in English, right? I think so. Sure, I mostly only know American history. Yeah. Actually, so in our school district, we did learn ancient history, and we covered Egypt, China. What was the third one? Was it Rome? I can't remember. So we did cover a little bit of Chinese history, but like I don't know much Chinese history. I know more now than I did 5 years ago, but you know, when I was growing up in school, we didn't cover that stuff. Very patriotic Americans here. You know, it's funny because they talk about like brainwashing and being nationalistic. The U.S. is pretty nationalistic if you think about it sometimes. Like, kids here, for those of you international viewers, if there are any, kids here like pledge to the flag, pledge of allegiance to the flag every single morning. Like, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. So, yeah, it's not like it's super not nationalistic. ¿Tienes videos en TikTok? ¿Por qué sí or por qué no? I actually can read that. Do you have videos on TikTok? Why yes or why no? Yo soy de Mexico. Mexico. Yo soy de Mexico. Really? James Cook? You're Mexico? That's the least Mexican sounding name you could have picked. I do have videos on TikTok. I'm actually trying to grow my TikTok possibly recently. Because I actually started my TikTok a long time ago. I just never did anything on it. But recently, well, not recently, like last year, they allowed 10-minute videos on TikTok now. So I've been uploading my long-form videos on TikTok and just splitting up the ones over 10 minutes. 2 of them have gotten a good amount of views. TikTok is such a hit or miss. I don't understand TikTok. Like YouTube, I feel like I've kind of figured it out now. Where like, I know how to make a good video that gets a good amount of views. But TikTok, I have no idea. Like, I think it's a good video, but it doesn't get views or whatever. And then I go on TikTok and watch these videos that get millions of views. I'm like, what? Like, do I just need to look pretty and dance or something? Or some of it's not even like that. Like, they'll have a dumb video of a duck or something, and it'll get millions of views. Okay, I reached the end of the comments. How many people are here? 30? 30 people here? Any other questions? Things you're wondering about? Your pressing Chinese questions? I can try to explain something if it doesn't make sense. Unless this is not loading again. We'll see. Yeah, this thing is, my Wi-Fi is not very good. Okay, a whole bunch of new comments just loaded. Okay. I can scroll back up and go through this. Best way to learn tongues. Would you ever teach Chinese? I don't think so anymore. The reason is, when I first started the channel, I wanted to teach Chinese, but I don't think that is like where my advantage is. Like, there are so many other teachers and like true native speakers of Chinese that would be so much better at teaching Chinese. I think I could do it like moderately successful, but I would rather do research-based videos. I think that's where I really shine, and that's where what I enjoy doing too. I want to do research-based videos, bringing stories that people haven't heard of into like the mainstream. So, for example, talking about how simplified Chinese characters came to be. That's not that talked about in the mainstream, right? So I just find interesting things about that and present it in an interesting way that people would watch. That's what I think I want to do moving into the future. Yes, bubble tea. Only know American history. I have a good friend who speaks Kejiahua. True, this makes us humble. Phonosemantic compound characters are the most common. For example, Qing has Qing Qing. Jing, yes. Make a fishing video. Wait, did I mention that I fish? When did I mention I fish? I do fish. Not as much anymore. Soy de Mexico. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, are there any Chinese dubs that you think are better than the original English? Yeah, I don't watch movies with dubs. I saw lots of Chinese students writing cursive Chinese. I cannot read. I can't even read my parents' handwriting, so there's that. Well, Andrew just reacted to my question. My mother tongue is Thai. Wow. What's a good Chinese video game? Okay, what's a good Chinese video game? So, this is not necessarily a good Chinese video game. Well, it is. I play PUBG, right? PUBG Mobile. There are tons of Chinese players on PUBG Mobile. I actually did a video that nobody watched like a long time ago where like I went on PUBG Mobile just to like meet Chinese people. You can try it. You can try it. Oh, thank you, Barbara. It's not weird. He's just not my taste. Yeah, he's kind of cute, sure. He's got like kind of slightly feminine features. You don't look Cantonese. From someone from Guangdong. Yes. Thank you. I mean, I don't mind. It's okay if I look Cantonese, but do you plan on learning any Chinese dialects in the future? Probably not. I don't really see any value in that. If I were to learn another language, I think I'll learn Spanish a bit more, especially if I go traveling in Mexico or Central America. What is Chinese alternative? I have no idea what that is. I'm sorry, Jake. Am I really behind on the comments? Okay, nice Spanish. Yep, I didn't pledge allegiance. I just stood there every morning. What part of China did boba originate? Taiwan? I think it is Taiwan. Yeah, boba came out of Taiwan. TikTok just nope. That's how I felt about TikTok. I'll be honest though, I've been on it a lot more than I should. I need to get off of it. TikTok is poison. I don't even study Chinese. Studying 日本语. But nice videos. Thank you. I'm guessing you probably found my videos through the handwriting videos or something. Wait, 快不破 in Cantonese. Okay. I will maybe check it out. What's that book about, Jake? Retracted. Thank you for your work. How many did you practice Chinese writing before you achieved this level of Chinese writing? I think I really started practicing. You know, the funny thing is I started practicing Chinese writing when somebody asked me how to write nicely in Chinese. And then I made that first video. It's still my most viewed video on my channel. So I think around that time, I would say, is when I started practicing. So before that, I don't know. I didn't even know how to write Chinese either. I'm like, and then somebody asked, "Oh, how do you write nice Chinese?" And I was thinking, I don't know, but I'll figure it out for you. 我想给你推荐新视频的创意。Oh gosh, I just lost it. 你可以制作一个或多个关于葡语这个主题的视频。I don't know what that is. Am I even saying that right? Is that 葡语? 葡语. Carlos Mendez? I watched your PUBG video. Oh, there is a Chinese game which seems super cool. I only know the Mao Mao and Youyu. If you know the name of it, please let us know. Mao Mao and Mo Yu? I don't know. I don't really game either other than PUBG. What's your least favorite part of the Chinese language that doesn't have to do with politics? So it's my love-hate relationship with Chinese characters. I love them because I think they're magnificent and beautiful, but I hate them because I don't think they're practical. And I know I got a lot of flack for that video where I talked about how impractical it is, but I still stand by what I said. I do not think the writing system is very practical or efficient. There actually have been some studies that talked about how many years it takes a child to learn a certain language to a certain level of reading proficiency. And it takes longer for Chinese kids to get to that level of proficiency versus some of like Spanish, for example. Where's ASUS originate? I actually kind of know this. I think they are in Taiwan also, ASUS. That's how I found your videos. Handwriting because I was practicing writing for Japanese. Yes. Yeah, I think there are some people who are learning Japanese that stumble across those videos. Do native speakers have less common Chinese dialects learn Mandarin? Well, I don't think they struggle as far as I know. Yeah, I don't think so. The thing is, I think no matter what the language, if you learn from a young age, it's not going to be super difficult. Like all kids have the capacity to learn basically any language. Cheers from Australia, man. Your videos are really encouraging. My mom likes to watch them too. She got into Chinese culture after watching 十里桃花. 十里桃花, yeah, that was a very popular drama too. I haven't watched that one though. Australian here. Wait a minute, Australian? Isn't it like midnight over there? Hold on. Like the two people that are from Australia. What time is it in Australia? What time is Australia right now? Oh, Sarah Young! Guys, bully Sarah Young. She's my sister's friend. My other sister's friend. I found you from the Ultimate Pinyin Pronunciation Guide I watched. Wait, Ultimate Pinyin Pronunciation Guide. Oh, that video was so old I forgot about it. I remember that one. Yeah, I remember that one. I used to drool over your handwriting, man. I was watching. The thing is, I don't think my handwriting is that good. Like, it's good, but I've seen so much better. And I have not gone to that level yet. And when I do, I don't know what I'll do with that. Maybe I'll live stream just writing or something. 2:55 a.m. Y'all, my Australian mates, what y'all doing? Go to bed. I'm from Sri Lanka. High school student, learning Chinese culture. Only problem is remembering all the characters. Yeah, this is one of the inefficiencies about Chinese characters because you don't have that phonetic aid to help you remember it. So that's a problem. But don't feel too bad about yourself because everybody else struggles with it too. So it's not just you. 国际革命广告. Japanese is wasai. I don't know what that is. Whew. I briefly considered studying like Chinese kanji, like the Chinese or the. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Sorry. I briefly considered studying the Japanese versions of Chinese characters. Since I don't speak Japanese, I would have to just read academic journals or something to learn about that. But I'm not that's gonna have to go on the back burner because I'm more interested in doing more study about China itself versus Japan. Oh, by the way, look at how bad my chair is now. It's falling apart. There's white specks all over the floor. This chair has not even lasted 2 years yet. So I can't remember which store it is. It's either Staples or Office Max, and it's like their house brand gaming chair. Don't buy it. It will disappoint you. Thank you for introducing Dual Chinese app. I couldn't remember Chinese characters in isolation. Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah, that's still my favorite app too. They do a good job with that. I think there are some alternatives too that also do a good job, I've heard. But that was just the first one I found and I really liked it, so I'm sticking with recommending that one. Wasai Kango is Japanese made Chinese words. So so they're Chinese words that were loaned from Japan? Is that how that works? 合列汉语 合制汉语 Chinese words made in Japan. 和 means 日本 in Japanese. Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. To be honest, seeing the contrast between Hanzi and Kanji is so fun. I read a great short story about a cat on Dual Chinese. I think I read that same story. It was like the week of the cat and what it did every week or something. How good do you think Chinese course in college is? I did not take any Chinese courses in college, so I can't really speak on that. Could you make a video about Chinese cursive writing? I don't know enough about that one, so I don't feel qualified to make that. I will briefly talk about it, very briefly, in my next video. Is a chair made in China? Probably. See ya, Marie. Take care. I will say that, the quality of stuff made in China has gone up a lot. There's still a lot of cheap stuff, but there's a lot of really high quality stuff too. And speaking of shopping, Temu has really impressed me recently. Has anybody used Temu before? Because I used AliExpress before if I wanted to buy quirky stuff or weird things from China. And the problem with AliExpress, especially 2 years ago, was shipping time. It would take anywhere between 1 and 2 months before your stuff got here, if it got here at all. There were a few packages that were just lost. But Temu has really figured down the logistics to the point where I've already purchased probably 10 orders from them. Every single one of those orders came in less than 10 business days, I want to say. And they also have a thing where if it comes late, they'll give you store credit. And on top of that, a few of those orders have shipped from China and still gotten here in 10 business days, which is insane to me. So I shop on there a lot now. Okay, cognitive dissonance. As an American Chinese, do you feel any specific loyalty to either? And if so, why? So I think if we separate nationality and ethnicity, then that you'll kind of get your answer there. Nationality, I think I am more loyal to the US because, this is the country that raised me. I've grown up here. Everything that I have is partially accredited to, the environment that it was able to provide. And I also have to give credit to my parents, of course, because I was able to grow up in a very safe community. I think that is so important. A lot of the issues in the US right now have to do with communities that aren't safe. If you have a safe community, economies thrive, the local, the neighborhood just thrives, the people thrive, the businesses thrive. And then that's the foundation of having a good society. China, I hear, is really safe too, but obviously they don't have some of the freedoms that we have here. You can't just, talk about the government. You can't put out a map that, didn't include Taiwan, otherwise they get mad at you. But although ethnicity, though, I will still always defend, Chinese people if there's, issues, like in the U.S., recently there have been some issues, some xenophobia. I will always defend Chinese people, like as an ethnicity, but nationality, I feel more American. That was a long answer, sorry. Las calles en China, 中国台湾 y Japón se veían horribles con alfabeto latino sin caracteres. Okay, that says something about the writing in China, Taiwan, Japan is very horrible with an Latin alphabet without characters. It's horrible if it's a Latin alphabet without characters, I think. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm in my final year of a Chinese undergrad. It's pretty cool. Pretty good? Okay, that makes sense. When reading Japanese brand in Chinese, they literally read the kanji directly. Like Bentian, Honda reads as Bentian instead of Honda. Oh, see, I didn't realize that Bentian was the characters for Honda in Japanese. I thought that was just a weird translation. I feel dumb for not knowing that. It seems obvious. Have you read any Chinese translate manga? I don't really read manga or manhwa, so I have not. Gotta go. See ya, Jen Ace. Thanks for the stream. I've seen the Temu ads, never used it. You can try. Okay, so if you buy like the cheap Chinese made stuff on Amazon, like the no name brands or like the fake brands, you can get those for basically half the price on Temu. But if you actually want to get name brands, you're not going to find it on Temu, right? If you want to get like DJI products, if you want to get, I don't know, L'Oreal, you're going to have to go on Amazon or one of the traditional retailers. Hello. No, but I get their ads almost every day. Yo, a live stream. Sick. Hey, Gabriel. Love your content breaking down the Chinese language. Thank you. Thank you for the breakdowns on Zhongwen. Yeah, I really enjoyed making those videos as well. Oh no, I brainwashed by Chris Chappelle and New Tang Dynasty when I was 10. I didn't realize that after watching Simplified versus Traditional. Excellent nondescript answer. Do you have any hobbies? If so, what are they? Okay, so growing up, my biggest hobby was actually fishing. I really enjoyed fishing and spending time outdoors in nature. I don't really fish much anymore. I think recently I've been just focused on work and doing all the things I want to do as far as career-wise goes. So I haven't really had time for hobbies. I did like practice like Chinese calligraphy, but I honestly haven't even practiced that for the past 3 months, probably. I haven't done that. So, hobbies is kind of sad. I don't have any right now. YouTube is my hobby. That's what I think about all the time. Any Chinese novels? No, I don't read novels anymore. Chinese brand names mess me up a lot, like Nintendo being Ren Tian Tang. Last question before heading out. Are you into sports? Nope. I did not grow up into sports. When I was younger, they would ask, are you a Sox fan or a Cubs fan? I don't know. I don't really watch baseball. So yeah, that's your short answer. I am not into sports. Don't watch them. Don't play them. Oh, sometimes I do. I enjoy playing them sometimes. I enjoyed rock climbing in college. Recently, my sister has been dragging me out to play tennis. So I've been doing that. We played table tennis when I was younger. Yeah, I enjoy sports, but I don't watch them. Given that Latin transcription of Chinese pinyin is god-awful. IPA? I don't know. I don't have an opinion on that. Do you watch any Chinese dramas? Not really. I used to watch dramas, but these days I don't really watch dramas. Wait, oh shucks, let me check the battery level on this thing. Hold on. back. I just plugged in my phone so it wouldn't die. Yeah, I was originally only planning on live streaming for an hour, but there's still some people here, so we can keep going. I have time. There are so many Hong Kong music than mainland music. Is it true? I do not know. I mostly listen to mainland music, so I don't know what Hong Kong music is or how much there is. Who said please don't invade Australia? What's your favorite Chinese idiom? I don't really have a favorite Chinese idiom. I mean, like one I say a lot, or one that I just think sounds cool? I have to think about that. The first generation immigrant experience. Here in Australia, everyone asks me, what Australian football club do you like? You would never know how to answer. Yes. How much do you like Hong Kong cinema? As far as cinema goes, like my favorite like movies I've watched is Star Wars, the prequels and the originals, not the sequels, and Marvel up until Infinity War Endgame. Hong Kong movies I haven't really watched a lot, and the few I did watch, they were good, but they weren't great. Like, I watched Jackie Chan movies, but I guess that's not really Hong Kong. I watched some Bruce Lee movies. Have you seen this character? I believe so. Is that Mo? I've seen it. It's not one I use a lot. It's Cantonese Mo. What does it mean again? 没有的省略。哦，没有 Mo. Okay. Interesting. You know, back to the Chinese idioms. I had a notebook. I think if I look through my notebook, it could jog my memory. I can find one I like. Nope. This is kind of a fun one. 小洞不堵，大洞吃苦. Means if you don't repair the small holes, then you'll really suffer when it becomes big, basically. Oh, 天涯海角. It just sounds pretty. I like that one. This is a good one for you guys to learn, maybe. 千里之行，始于足下. Journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. Yeah, I guess that's it. I don't really have a favorite. Sorry, I'm kind of boring person to talk to. Like, if you ask me what's my favorite color or things like that, like, depends on the day. What makes you keep learning Chinese even at hard times? I think you need to have a purpose if you want to keep learning anything. So like, what's the ultimate goal you're trying to achieve? And then have that in your head. Like for me, the ultimate goal is to be able to connect with Chinese culture, to be able to consume Chinese media and not have to translate it, to be able to talk to Chinese people. So as long as you have that goal in your head, then that will constantly motivate you. That's what I think. Jake, I don't know what these things are. Are these like the dialects? Oh, how they abbreviate the names. Okay. I was thinking those are provinces. I never heard the short forms of Shandong or Hubei. Oh, I missed this one. What's your top 3 fave songs? 星辰大海 is my top. That it's been my ringtone for 2 years, 3 years now, and I haven't changed it. I'm gonna type it in the chat because I love that song so much, and I want you guys to listen to it. 星辰大海. That is a Huang Xiaoyun song, Ghost Huang. And another song that really had an impact on my life, and this is a Christian song, so I understand not everyone's Christian, but it's, what's it called? 1 billion times? 100 billion times. 100 billion times, I think. It's a Hillsong song. But that song really, really changed my life and my perspective on life. Because before that, I think I was more of a selfish person, to be honest. And like I focused more on personal achievements and less about interacting with people and, you know, building up those relationships. And after that song, that kind of like changed my perspective on it. It's like, now the way I see it is like, I'm here to like, to love on people, really. My family and friends, and to like really build those relationships. What's your favorite prime? Oh. What's your favorite prime integer? No, I don't have one. I could barely remember what a prime integer is. It's a number that's not divisible, right? 1, 3, 5, 7. What's the next one? 13. 13. Can't remember what's after that. Hoping to get an A for Chinese. Now I can work because you're really encouraging words. Yay! 加油! Dun, dun, dun. All right. Anybody else have questions? Okay, I'll share something that I thought was really weird. Recently, I discovered if you go on TikTok live streams, there are people who just, they start these live streams and they just pretend to be an AI bot. Like, I could not understand this. They would just stand there, and then when people gave them a gift, they'd be like, thank you for the gift. Or something like that, over and over again. They wouldn't interact with anybody. They would act like a bot just receiving gifts, and whenever they get a certain gift, they would do the same reaction every single time. But apparently they're making bank. So, I'm just kidding, I won't do that. That's dumb. What is your favorite emoji? I'll type it in the chat. Yeah, this one I overuse a lot. It's the laughing one. Where is it? This one. And I always, or not always, but I often type it in a string of 3. Chaoji qiguai. What is your background? You're gonna have to elaborate on that. Oh, what language is that, by the way? Is that a Slavic language, I want to say? I'm not sure. Russian, okay. guy asking about idioms. 说曹操就到. Yeah, my mom says that a lot. Speak of the devil. Oh yeah. What is... Oh, I've seen this. 穷. I can't remember what it means. I remember it's pronounced 穷. 穷. Or something like that. How much do you guys know about ancient Chinese characters? Because that's my next video. Oh, by the way, you should follow my Instagram if you haven't already. That's where I share more, like, maybe behind the scenes, my personal life. Yeah, there's not much Chinese learning content on my Instagram, to be honest. Actually, don't follow my Instagram. You've talked about Chinese sound and radical components being intuitive at some time. Say Mandarin modernized, would it be easier to change the pronunciation or the radical to restore its logic? I don't know what you mean by modernized necessarily. I don't think the language itself is going to be changing drastically. Think about how English has been changing. We're just making new words. Like, the sounds themselves, I guess they do. They do change. Like, recently I read about some new dialect of English that emerged out of Florida. I don't think Mandarin will, though, to be honest. Because it's the national language. So if something emerges, it'll be a dialect, but it won't be Mandarin. I think in the future, if people come up with new words to Mandarin, it's possible if it really takes off, they'll make a new character. But even then, I don't think they will be. Most new words will be compound words, so combining two existing characters. The problem with, unlike English, where you can just spell out a new word and say, this is a new word, and then eventually everyone starts using it, and then they add it to a dictionary. In Chinese, you can't use it. You can't use a new word that you just made up because you can't type it, right? You can only type using the existing set of characters. So in other words, the dictionary would have to add that character first before you can use it. That's why it'll never take off. So new words will be only created by compounding two characters, two or more characters. You should do some more karaoke videos. Oh, you mean the songs? Nah, probably not. Hillsong Oceans. I'm not gonna lie, I think Oceans is overrated. It's a good song, it's not bad, but it was just insanely popular for a few years. And as far as just like the quality of the songwriting itself, like if you don't consider the lyrics or anything, just the song itself, it's not that high quality of a song in my opinion. It's not that memorable, it didn't have a good build. It had an okay build in the bridge. Did you go to college? What special? Oh, okay. So yes, I did go to college. I studied music production. And yeah, that's it. After I graduated that, I worked for a year and then COVID hit. It's great. Okay, why is it like, I swear, sometimes there will be like no new comments and then it would just finally load all the new comments and there will be a bunch and I can't keep up. How long do you think it will take for a person who knows 50, 70 Mandarin words to learn to speak? It depends on how much you study. So, at 57, you're certainly not communicating at all. That's not anywhere near enough. I think you need at least 1,000 words to do basic communication. I know a decent amount of Old Chinese characters and Japanese using wen yang wen meaning, and I learned it before learning Chinese. Yeah, I should study ancient Chinese. What's your favorite Chinese word? Oh, shucks, I have a list of this too. I gotta use it to jog my memory. I don't have it on me though. Chinese words. I had this video idea where I was gonna talk about the most unique Chinese words. Yeah, I had a list, and I can't think of any off the top of my head. Shucks. Oh, thought of one. Dianfeng. I like the way it sounds, and I like the way it looks too. So previously when somebody asked which Chinese character I like, I love the feng component of this character. So I'm gonna type it in the chat. Dianfeng means peak, or like pinnacle. I just realized I should probably type out the pinyin too. Not everyone can read that. Sorry, my iPad crashed again. Maybe I won't type it in the chat. You guys can copy it and look it up if you're interested. Now I can't read any of the comments again. Alright, maybe I'll talk about other interesting Chinese characters as this loads, if I can think of any. A lot of people have already talked about xiao, which is like filial piety, respecting your elders and parents. That's a unique concept to Chinese, but it's because it's a unique cultural concept. So I don't really think it's impressive as a word, necessarily. Another unique Chinese word. Oh, finally I'm back. Okay, I can get back to the comments, never mind. I can't think of it. I wish I had that list, but it's on my phone, and my phone is the camera. So, oh, did you guys know that? I still film on my phone all my videos. I don't even have a real camera. I'm such a fake. It's like how you knowing Spanish helps you know a lot of Latin, not necessarily the few Chinese characters. What textbooks or workbooks would you recommend beginners buy? I'm not familiar with the textbooks and workbooks scene. I tried a lot of the apps, obviously, and I like Hello Chinese for beginners, and once you reach intermediate, Dual Chinese. Super Chinese and Lingodeer were also pretty decent. I think one of the reasons I gave Hello Chinese Extra was because it was free. I don't know if it's free anymore, though. Basically, any revisions can't be organic and will have to come from a top-down approach. It can be organic. It just can't. So characters can't be organic. Words can't be organic because you can just take two existing characters and smash them together and say that's a new word, and it might catch on. But you can't create a new character without it being top down, because all of the systems will have to support it. The keyboards will have to support it. Otherwise, you can't type it out. Middle Chinese sound like 蜀中knees. 穷 is internet slang when you feel embarrassed. Oh yeah, that rings a bell. I never use that word. Environmental studies at uni. Soon, Dikai, if you're still here, see ya. Sorry if I missed that comment. I see that you're leaving. Thank you for your time and effort. It's like saying this letter. Yo, that phone is my last name. Can you please tell people to kindly stop destroying the planet? Okay, so I could say something about that too. China itself is not destroying the planet. The reason China has so much pollution is because everything is made in China. So if you talk about like pollution as a per capita of the citizens of a country, China is not the world's biggest polluter. It's Western countries because we consume so much. So let's say the bubble tea you bought, the new laptop you bought, these all have a carbon footprint. They were made in China, so then you think the pollution's coming from China, but you're the one that's buying it. And if it wasn't for that demand, it would not have been made, right? And I'm not saying we should make less things. This is my opinion on the whole environmental thing. The answer for going to the future and protecting the planet is not to decrease consumerism. So, right? It's not saying, oh, the billionaires stop flying your private jets. It's finding ways to create sustainable energy. Because at the end of the day, all of us have to live, and we all want to better our lives. And guess what that requires? It requires energy. So it would be very hypocritical for you to say the billionaires should stop flying their private jets when you exist. Like, this is really harsh, but the most green thing you can do is to not exist. But you're not going to not exist, right? We all have to exist. But there's a way for all of us to exist on the planet. We just have to have sustainable energy to fuel all of that. So the real answer to a sustainable future is just we need to have some more breakthroughs in sustainable energy to support all the things that we want to do. Yeah, the history of wood is pretty interesting. It is. Okay, I've reached the end of the chat again, so I'm going to refresh this in case it's not loading. N becomes L. Could you repeat the app recommendation from best to worst in your opinions on them? Okay, so Hello Chinese is best, if I remember correctly. You can always try Duolingo, it's okay. But it is free, so that makes the barrier to entry very low. Lingo Deer was decent. What was the other one? Super Chinese was decent. The bad ones I remember were Busu. Busu was bad. But they said their Chinese course wasn't fully developed at that time, so I don't know if they updated it. There was another one that was bad. What was the other one? Memrise. Memrise was really bad because it didn't really teach anything. It was just flashcards. Which, you know, you could just make your own flashcards. You can go on Anki or something. There's no point in paying Memrise for them to just be a flashcard app. Have you been to any Asian countries? Other than China, no. I really want to go to Taiwan for like an extended period of time. And while I'm there, instead of treating it as a vacation, I want to find a calligraphy teacher and learn calligraphy and like do a lot of the cultural things that I can't do here. Maybe learn some, I don't know. It'd be cool to learn some like traditional Chinese arts or something. I also do want to go to Korea. I want to go to Japan. There's a lot of Asian countries I want to go to. Singapore, I think, is fascinating. Their governance is really interesting. Like, did you know that Singapore is the most successful dictatorship in the world? It's crazy, but yeah, they basically are. Vietnam would be interesting. Thailand would be interesting. What do you think about the viral Rwandan band that's singing Mandarin? Liu Xiansheng, can you send me that? I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't seen it. Our rap, let's go. Just YouTube it will be the first thing that comes up. Okay, Rwandan band. I thought you already had well over 50 subs. I think the reason I don't have more subs is because my videos are so inconsistent, to be honest. Like Grace Mandarin, Chinese, I'm only comparing to her because I talked to her. Her videos are so consistent. Like, she uploads new videos, you kind of know what to expect. And they're all good quality videos and they have good value. But I'm too inconsistent. So that's on me. Whatever. It's fine though. Come to Sri Lanka. It's a beautiful country. Possibly. My first concern would be, I know that's a small country and not as popular, which means that the flights can be expensive. That's a legitimate concern though. Here's a different one during your leisure time. How much time do you spend on the English side of the internet versus the Chinese side? These days I spend most of my time on the English side. I rarely go on the Chinese side. Like last year even, I was on Douyin a lot because I really like to see like the new trends and stuff that was popping up there. But you know what? They don't really allow foreigners to access Chinese internet, which is really, really dumb in my opinion. Because like China wants to increase its soft powers, but it's shooting itself in the foot. So Douyin last year, they did this thing where unless you had a Chinese ID or a Chinese phone number, you had a severely limited account. All you could do was watch videos. You couldn't interact with them. You couldn't message other people. You couldn't save them. You couldn't do anything. All you could do was just view it. So that got really not fun for me. So I was like, screw you guys. Go back to the international internet. Yeah, but that's really unfortunate, to be honest. How do I improve my listening skills? Finish Duolingo. I'm probably only a 5-year old. Well, you're 5 years old? Okay, for 5 years old, you're gonna have no problem because your language learning abilities are gonna be through the roof. The question is, ink stick or lick? I don't know about that. Sorry, I do not know anything about like proper brush calligraphy. What is a good website for learning Chinese? I don't know much about websites either. I have read some really good articles from a few websites, if I can remember them. One of them is Chairman's Bao. I think they had a lot of good information. And then there's that, what's that website called? It's the one with, Chinese Wiki. If you want to learn Chinese grammar, go on Chinese Wiki. There's one more I'm forgetting the name of. Oh, geez, I can't think of it. I can see it in my head. I can't remember the name, though. Okay, that will have to be it for now. I think those are cool websites. I like how he says the comments before reading them. It's so you guys know what I'm reacting to, so I figured I'd just read them out loud. Your videos are my cup of tea. I like the breakdowns of the Chinese language and its history. I guess those videos take more time, more research than language educational videos. No, I'm old. I'm only a 5-year-old. Oh, 5-year-old with my Chinese skills. It's okay. It's okay. We're all here for trolling. Chinese podcasts. Oh, yes. Chinese podcasts are good for learning. I agree with that. Mandarin Corner. Mandarin Corner. I love what she does on there. She also talks about, like a lot of the podcasts are actual current events and talking about the culture in China. So you can kind of like, kill two birds with one stone. Practice some Chinese, also learn about what's going on. 早上好中国，现在我是我有冰淇淋。Is that what the John Cena thing? 早上好中国，我喜欢冰淇淋，冰淇淋。That's funny. 去电影院看《速度与激情》。John Paston's Chinese Grammar Wiki. How easy it is for you to read traditional characters versus simplified. Traditional characters is rough. I can manage my way through it and guess most of it. Yeah, there's a bit of a gap there. I can usually manage. If it's conversational, I can manage, but if it's an article, then I really struggle. Oops, sorry. I try to learn Chinese, but butcher the pronunciation. What do you recommend a beginner do, or what area should they focus on? Ooh, I had a video on this. What was it called? Can't remember the name. But basically, excuse me, I think you should learn to speak Chinese, then read, then write. So writing should be last, speaking should be first. So that's what you should focus on. So you don't have to worry about writing Chinese characters when you first start. You can just learn your vocabulary in pinyin. Okay. I'm thinking like another 20 minutes, we can end this on the hour. Because now my iPad's dying. There's only like 24% left battery. How many tones does Cantonese have? I believe 9. I don't speak Cantonese. Oh yeah, Mandarin Blueprint. I don't know about their course, but they have some good articles. Yeah. What other YouTuber would you recommend to watch to learn Chinese? Okay, if you're a beginner, right? Yeah. Okay, Genesis. Well, Grace Mandarin has some really good videos. I'm just saying that because I'm friends with her. Mandarin Corner will be good after you reach intermediate level because those are all podcasts. I think strictly beginner, you can watch Grace Mandarin. Shuoshuo Chinese also has some good stuff. Oh, other YouTubers. I haven't seen much after beyond that. I don't know Japanese. Oh no, Joe! Joe Wick. Yeah, like, thank you for the comments. I didn't like making those app review videos, but I'm glad you found it helpful. Do you agree with Do you agree with Australia selling its education out to the highest overseas bidder? I haven't even heard about that, so I don't know what that means. Honestly, nothing beats learning through exposure. Yeah, I agree. The funny thing is, I almost feel like my Chinese abilities kind of went down a little bit in the last year since I got off of Chinese internet. So I think it's definitely something like if you don't use it, you lose it. Maybe not completely, but it definitely fluctuates. And then a couple years ago when I was really focused on learning Chinese, my English abilities, I swear, went down slightly. Or I don't know, maybe I just don't have the mental capacity for too many languages. Some people do. Some people are geniuses. So something else that I'm gonna try to do in the future is, so I've been thinking about how do I monetize YouTube, right? Because I literally don't make money from YouTube. I mean, I do, but we're talking, if we divide out the time it takes me to make videos and how much I make, it's like minimum wage in the US, like $10 an hour, maybe less, usually less than $10 an hour. So it's really hard to keep it going at that rate. But what I'm thinking is I'm gonna start leaning a bit more into affiliate marketing because I don't really like the idea of selling a course or making you guys buy something that you don't need. But like, for example, I don't know if you guys know this, but some YouTubers will leave like an affiliate link to Amazon, and if you click on the link and buy anything, then the creator gets a cut of that. So you'd still be buying the stuff you normally buy at the normal prices you usually buy, but you would still be like supporting the creator. So I think I'm gonna start getting more of those and see if I can get some more income from that. Do you have the Jupin characters? Hey Dottie! I've seen you comment on a lot of my Facebook videos. What online sites do you recommend where I can find people to speak Putonghua with? Try Hello Talk. I went on Hello Talk and I was able to meet a lot of Chinese people who wanted to practice English. I don't know if... Yeah, no, just try Hello Talk. Yeah. The thing is, there's a lot more Chinese people that want to learn English than there are English speakers who want to learn Chinese. So the market is in your favor. I don't have the characters. Yeah, I don't know about that surname. Swain Pool. 2-character surnames are really rare. I've never met somebody with a 2-character surname. Not that I've met a lot of people, but. Yeah, so HelloTalk is a language exchange app. You can make a profile there. You can. How does it work? You can scroll through other people's profiles based on what language they know and what language they're trying to learn, and then you can just chat with them. It's like, hey, you want to practice? Okay, be more organic than that. Look through like what their interests are, and then maybe ask them a question about their interests. Like, oh, I saw that you traveled to Burma. How was it over there? Whatever. I like cats also. 我也喜欢猫. How do I pick a Chinese name? I'm not really good with that, to be honest. So, yeah, I'm not the right person to ask about Chinese names. I met my wife through language exchange. That's impressive that you met your wife through language exchange. I've heard stories about that, but yeah, haven't actually like talked to anybody who's experienced that. That's crazy. I did meet a really good friend through language exchange. So, again, I posted this on my Instagram, so my Instagram followers might have seen this. But at the beginning of the year, I went to Paris to meet a friend that I met online that I'd never seen in real life. It was great. Turned out to be really cool, just like he was during the video calls. But I met him in 2019. Yeah, I actually met him on Facebook. So we were both part of a Facebook group that was like Chinese English language exchange, and that was during that was a period when I was studying Chinese, a bit more hardcore. So we kept in touch for a long time, and then finally I was like, you know what? COVID's over. Let's meet up in real life. Like, okay. Who is a person in there? What person? I like your vlog style videos. Pretty interesting. What are you talking about? I only made one vlog and nobody watched it. Interesting. An extra syllable to the surname to make it sound better. Who is the person? Oh! This? Are we talking about this? My little sister drew this. This is Rose from Blackpink. She's a really good artist. So. Yeah, Blackpink was the first K-pop group I listened to, but I don't really listen to them anymore. The music's too upbeat. It's weird because like these days I don't know, maybe I like more chill music now. But every one of their songs is just like very high energy. Now I don't know what to talk about. This is why I'm not a good live streamer. What's your day job? I don't have a day job. Unemployed. Just kidding. So I actually made a point not to get a full-time job after I graduated college. Actually, it was because it was for the purpose of so I would have time to learn Chinese. Because when I was in college, I decided that learning Chinese was so important for me that I would rather make less money and not have the nice things in life. So right now, I'm juggling between one part-time job, a few contract freelance work, and YouTube. So my most normal job is I work at a church doing audio visual stuff, so like tech stuff for their productions. And I've been doing that since I graduated college. That was actually the first job I got straight out of college, which was actually really nice because that's what I studied in college, but that's part-time. And then obviously I do YouTube. And then I also have, I don't know, am I allowed to talk about this? Yeah, I can talk about this. Yeah, I have this job where I go to Cadillac dealerships and assess them. I do that. And it's just like a bunch of freelance contract. I don't know how to put it. It changes so much. I've done everything. Like this week, I just finished working on a voiceover project. It was like, yeah, 20, 30 minutes of stuff. I did that for half of this week. I wash dishes in a restaurant, but my real job is smoking weed. Okay. What's your favorite videos to make? I definitely like my research videos. It's weird because, you know, most people, they just make videos about the things they already know, like sharing their knowledge, but I actually like to make videos about things I'm curious about. So things I don't know, and I go out and research about it, and I present it. I found that I really like storytelling. I really like to put purpose to information, like information or facts that otherwise would just be boring facts, and craft an interesting story from it. I'm not saying like make stuff up, obviously. You have to remain factual, and you don't just make stuff up. But like the way you present information is really important, right? I can make a boring video about how Chinese characters are constructed, or I could put purpose to it and say like, this is why it's cool, and this is why it'll help you. So, Chinese people don't have two character surnames. They have a Vietnamese or Japanese. I think there are two character surnames. I can't think of any though. I'm pretty sure there are. They're just very rare. Do they have more lyrics in stock? I don't know how the lyrics are going right now. So, for everybody else who doesn't know what we're talking about, Lyric is Cadillac's new EV. And when they first came in, and I was talking with the mechanics and the managers, they had a lot of issues with them, a lot of software issues. They were just sitting in the shop. So there's definitely stuff to be ironed out. It's a cool car, but there's a lot of things they need to iron out. And yeah, they're very low in stock. I was also thinking it could be a foreigner down on the line. Have you considered doing live streams of some Chinese classes or entertainment? Not really. I did briefly consider doing like live streams of just me writing Chinese, because I figured if I'm, practicing my Chinese, I might as well just stick a camera. And I know some people like watching me write. But as far as like me talking about stuff, I don't know. I'm not really a live streamer. I'm not built for this. I'm more like I'll create a video and upload it. Ask your questions. Probably wrap this up in a little bit. And Hello Talk, I sometimes host voice rooms when I'm just studying, doing flashcards. Journey from the West. Canada or Australia, if you had to pick one. I haven't been to either countries, so I can't really pick. But, you know what? I'm gonna say Australia. Because Canada is really cold, and I feel like there's more cool people from Australia. I don't know, it's just a feeling. Maybe it's just because I've seen more YouTubers that live in Australia than Canada. You're doing it right now. You should try it. Yeah, I am doing it right now, but talk about? I don't know what I would live stream about. Like, would it just be like a teaching Chinese class, or talking about stuff? Toronto. I'm actually going to Toronto later this year. It'll be my first time in Canada, so I do plan on going to Canada. Yeah, I did hear it's more diverse, so that's what I'm looking forward to, and maybe trying out a lot of food there. I did also hear that Toronto's very expensive. I don't know if you're living in Toronto right now. Flushing, is that New York? No, I have not been there. 大哥最近过得怎么样？最近挺好的，挺好的，稍微有一点点忙。Yes, how was I doing? I said, pretty good, slightly busy. Aussies are chill, weather's great. Just don't go to Hobart in Tasmania. It's a wasteland. Yeah, I hear that, like, okay, I don't know where Hobart is, but I've heard you can drive across like most of Australia and it's a wasteland and there's like no reception, and if you die no one will find you. That's kind of scary. Live stream reacting to Chinese apps or just purely entertainment? I actually just thought about that like just now, earlier in the stream. I was like, people want me to keep doing the app reviews, but I don't want to make them because I don't really enjoy the process of doing that. But maybe I could just live stream them and it'll just be in real time as I'm doing these apps or something. Canada is amazing. Everyone apologizes. Yeah, I've heard that stereotype. Toronto isn't too expensive. Oh, helps us Americans out. Okay. If you had 3 wishes from Genie, what would you wish for? Can I wish for world peace? Depends on if there's like constraints to that. Since you mentioned Christianity, is your family Christian? Yes, we are. We didn't become Christian until we came to the US. So yeah, it's not that common in China. Or you can make those reviews YouTube shorts. The thing is, it might be good, it might even generate a lot of views, but I don't think it would be a very good quality review. I don't think you can review something in as short of a time span as a YouTube short. Because there's so many, you can't just say like this app is good, that app's bad. There's so many like intricacies to the answers, like, well, this app is good at certain things, but it's not good at explaining grammar, you know. So it would just be incomplete information. I had some Mormons come to my door with Chinese names on the back. Mormons are crazy. They're really crazy. No hate to the Mormons, but like I do respect their dedication. They're incredibly dedicated. I don't know if I should just tell you the story. I had a friend who was living in Idaho, somewhere out west where there were a bunch of Mormons, and he moved here. And after he moved here, the Mormons came knocking on his doors, and he's like, our family literally tried to escape you guys. We did not come here to see you again. But, okay. Are you looking forward to learning another language? Honestly, not as much right now. I am more interested and excited to learn more about Chinese culture. That's kind of the area I want to go into. I want to study more about history and some of the cultural things. Like, I think studying the lunar calendar would be really cool. Like, where did the lunar calendar come from? It's incredibly influential. Like, Japan and Korea also celebrate all of the lunar New Year, and they follow that calendar. "你本来的是从哪儿来的？中国哪里？" Okay, so I'm from Henan. Keep the shorts to TikTok. I greeted them by saying functional. Okay. Should I start learning Chinese with studying characters and without practicing pronunciation? I live with someone who's too social anxious to practice Chinese when someone else is listening. Hey, I would encourage you to just practice with them in the room, with them listening. Social anxiety, I know it's probably a struggle for you right now, but I think this will be a good opportunity to get past that, actually. Work on your social anxiety. There's no point in not practicing pronunciation, right? Like, you want to do it, but the only thing stopping you is social anxiety. Tackle it. I love this song. Yeah. The Chinese lunar calendar is basically our version of horoscope. It's not. No, so the Chinese lunar calendar, from the little I know about it, was originally based on farming. It was to help them track the seasons and when to plant. What's the biggest pet peeve you got about learning a language? I think the most difficult part about learning a language is finding opportunities to practice it. That's the most difficult thing. Especially, this is like where I live and with where I am in life, like college would have been a great time to learn a language because there were international students on campus, there were so many different people, you could find people to practice with, but I'm telling you, if there are some of you guys that are in college or you're still a student, really enjoy those years and make your connections, make your friendships then, because after you graduate, you're not going to meet people your age. And if you think you're going to make friends in the workforce, it's different. It's a lot more challenging than in a college classroom or on a college campus. Making friends was so easy in the dorms. Just saying. What? Okay. Alright guys, it's been 2 hours, so I think we're gonna have to wrap this up. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for not quite 50,000, but we'll hit it tomorrow, so any last questions? Put them in the chat. I'll answer our last few more questions, and then we can wrap it up. Just so you guys know, my next video will come out August 18th, maybe? It'll be somewhere in the middle of August, and it'll talk about the evolution of Chinese characters. So if you're interested in the history and how Chinese characters originated from the most, ancient forms to what it is now, that's what that video is going to talk about. Why are Chinese emperors called Tianxia? Chinese emperors are called Huangdi. I don't know about Tianxia. Was Tianxia before Huangdi? Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. Oh, are you talking about Bixia? There's a term Bixia. Bi is the steps leading up to the emperor's throne, and Xia is down. So it's a respectful term for emperors because you're saying like I'm below the throne. You hear that in dramas. Any more last questions? I'm gonna refresh this feed one more time. Alright, it does not seem like there's any more questions, at least I'm not seeing them. So, thank you once again everyone for joining me on this live stream, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out. Wow, so weird doing this live. How do I stop this? Oh wait, I can see that. Why do I see more comments on my phone? Okay. See you guys.